Master. God sports through man as well. I see man as the embodiment of Narayan. As fire is kindled when you rub two pieces of wood together, so God can be seen in man if you have intense devotion. If there is suitable bait, big fish like carp, gulp it down at once. When one is intoxicated with prem, one sees God in all beings. The gopis saw Krishna in everything. To them the whole world was filled with Krishna. They said that they themselves were Krishna. They were then in a God-intoxicated state. Looking at the trees, they said, "These are hermits, absorbed in meditation on Krishna." Looking at the grass, they said, "The hair of the earth is standing on end at the touch of Krishna." Devotion to the husband is also a dharma. The husband is God. Why shouldn't it be so? If God can be worshipped through an image, why not also through a living man? But three things are necessary in order to feel the presence of God in an image. First, the devotion of the priest. Second, a beautiful image. And third, the devotion of the householder. Vaishnava Charan once said that in the end, the mind of the devotee is absorbed in the human manifestation of God. But you must remember one thing. One cannot see God sporting as man unless one has had the vision of Him. Do you know the sign of one who has God vision? Such a man acquires the nature of a child. Why a child? Because God is like a child. So he who sees God becomes like a child. God vision is necessary. Now the question is, how can one get it? Intense renunciation is the means. A man should have such intense yearning for God that he can say, "O Father of the universe, am I outside your universe? Won't you be kind to me, you wretch?" You partake of the nature of Him on whom you meditate. By worshipping Shiva, you acquire the nature of Shiva. A devotee of Ram meditated on Hanuman day and night. He used to think he had become Hanuman. In the end, he was firmly convinced that he had even grown a little tail. Jnana is the characteristic of Shiva and Bhakti of Vishnu. One who partakes of Shiva's nature becomes a jnani, and one who partakes of Vishnu's nature becomes a bhakta. M. But what about Chaitanya Dev? You said he had both knowledge and devotion. Master. Sharply. His case was different. He was an incarnation of God. There is a great difference between him and an ordinary man. The fire of Chaitanya's renunciation was so great that when Sarvabhauma poured sugar on his tongue, instead of melting, it evaporated into air. He was always absorbed in samadhi. How great was his conquest of lust! To compare him with a man, a lion eats meat, and yet it mates only once in 12 years. But a sparrow eats grain, and it indulges in sex life day and night. Such is the difference between a divine incarnation and an ordinary human being. An ordinary man renounces lust, but once in a while he forgets his vow. He cannot control himself. To M. He who has realized God looks on man as a mere worm. One cannot succeed in religious life if one has shame, hatred, or fear. These are fetters. Haven't you heard of the 8 fetters? How can one who is eternally perfect be afraid of the world? He knows how to play his game. An eternally perfect soul can even lead a worldly life if he desires. There are people who can fence with 2 swords at the same time. They are such expert fencers that if stones are thrown at them, the stones hit the swords and come back.